Dear students, good morning. Today we are going to discuss about types of equilibrium. For example, homogeneous and heterogeneous equilibrium. Then dynamic nature of equilibrium. So yesterday I discussed this concept, dynamic nature of equilibrium. So when we consider a reversible process, so if we take a reversible process like hydrogen and iodine gases are combining together to produce hydrogen iodide. Forward reaction is the formation of hydrogen iodide and the backward reaction is the production of hydrogen and iodine gas. So this is a reversible process. So as we discussed, during the forward reaction, concentration of reactant decreases, concentration of product increases. I explained already, from 100%, concentration of reactant decreases. At the same time, concentration of product increases from 0% into 100%. So, when we take a reactant concentration decreases with respect to time. When reaction proceeds, concentration of reactant decreases. At the same time, what about product? Concentration of product increases. So concentration of reactant will be 100%. When reaction proceeds, slowly concentration of reactant decreases, and at the end of the reaction, concentration of reactant will become 0. At the same time, concentration of product is 0 before reaction starts. When reaction proceeds, product concentration slowly increases and which will reach maximum 100% at the end of the reaction. So this is the reaction coordinate generally. When reaction is taking place, concentration of reactant decreases, concentration of product increases. So in the forward reaction, hydrogen and iodine are the reactants, hydrogen iodide is the product. Then in the backward reaction, hydrogen iodide will act as the reactant. These hydrogen and iodine gaseous molecules are acting as products. So we have a forward as well as backward reaction. So this is a reversible reaction. So in the reversible reaction, in forward as well as backward process, concentration of reactant decreases and the concentration of product increases with respect to time. This is first concept. Second, in the reversible process, at one particular stage, rate of forward reaction will be equal to rate of backward reaction. Now we call this condition as equilibrium. So what is equilibrium? In a reversible process, we have a forward as well as backward reaction. At one particular stage, rate of forward reaction will be equal to the rate of backward reaction or reverse reaction. So the condition is called equilibrium. The reaction will reach equilibrium condition or equilibrium state. For example, for the forward reaction, the time taken is 10 hours, means for the formation of hydrogen and iodine also. That means rate of backward reaction also the same, 10 hours. So rate of forward and reverse reactions will be equal. We call the situation as equilibrium state. So at equilibrium, the mixture is called equilibrium mixture. So once equilibrium is reached, we get equilibrium mixture which contains both reactants as well as products. Right? So once equilibrium is reached, we cannot get a hydrogen iodide. At the same time, we cannot get a hydrogen and iodine. So in the laboratory, we mix these two gases. Hydrogen iodide is formed. During the formation of hydrogen iodide, backward reaction starts. So if equilibrium is attained, means we cannot get hydrogen iodide by forward reaction. At the same time, we cannot get hydrogen and iodine by backward reaction. Reactant and product will not be achieved 100%. So we always get a mixture of reactant and product, which is called equilibrium mixture. There is no end for the reaction if equilibrium is attained by a reversible process. So we call the equilibrium as dynamic equilibrium. The equilibrium is not in rest, always, which is in the dynamic nature. Right? So this is a public 2 mark question. What is a chemical equilibrium? Why it is dynamic in nature? So rate of forward and reverse reactions are equal. The condition is equilibrium and which is dynamic in nature. Right? So both forward and reverse reactions takes place simultaneously and endlessly with the equal rate. Endlessly represents what? There is no end for the reaction. So this is dynamic in nature. Next one. Existence of equilibrium in homogeneous reaction and heterogeneous reaction. Take a homogeneous reaction. So if you take homogeneous reactions, for example, hydrogen gas combines with iodine gas, it produces hydrogen iodide gas. So the reactants and the product are in the same gaseous state. This is an example of a homogeneous reaction. Nitrogen gas combines with hydrogen gas. It provides ammonia gas. This is another example of homogeneous reaction. Phosphorus pentachloride gas is decomposed to produce phosphorus trichloride gas and chlorine gas. So all these are examples of homogeneous reactions. Reactants and products are in the same phase. So in these reversible reactions, if equilibrium is reached, we call this as homogeneous equilibrium. So equilibrium is of two types, physical and chemical equilibrium based on the process. Next, equilibrium is of two types, homogeneous and heterogeneous, based on the physical state of the substances. If all the substances are in the same phase, it is called a homogeneous reaction, and the equilibrium is called a homogeneous equilibrium. Next, we take heterogeneous reactions. So take liquid water. Just boil the liquid water, it becomes steam. So this is a physical transformation. Equilibrium will be attained. So this is physical equilibrium as well as heterogeneous equilibrium. Right? Because the reactions or the changes heterogeneous in nature. So we have one substance in the liquid state, another substance in the gaseous state. In the same way, if we take calcium carbonate, which is a solid substance, is decomposed to produce calcium oxide solid and carbon dioxide gas. So this is an example of heterogeneous reaction. A solid reactant provides two products. One is in the solid state, another one is in the gaseous state. So this is an example of heterogeneous reaction. In this reversible reaction, if equilibrium is attained, we call the equilibrium as heterogeneous equilibrium. So far we have completed physical equilibrium, chemical equilibrium, homogeneous equilibrium and heterogeneous equilibrium. So this is based on the physical state. Next, a public 2 marker, state law of mass action. Law of mass action. So consider a reaction. At one particular instant, rate of the reaction is directly proportional to the active masses of the reactant at that temperature or at that instant. So this is called a law of mass action. Right? So when we consider any particular reaction, a rate of the reaction is directly proportional to the active mass of the reactants. Active mass will be mentioned as what? Concentration. Okay. So rate of reaction is directly proportional to the active mass of the reactants. Consider hydrogen and iodine gases. They are combining to produce hydrogen iodide gas. So when we consider the forward reaction, hydrogen and iodine gases are providing the hydrogen iodide gas. In the forward reaction, according to the law of mass action, the rate of forward reaction is directly proportional to the active mass of the reactants. So, rate of forward reaction is directly proportional to the active mass of the reactants. Usually, the reactants will be written within a square bracket. So within a closed bracket, we mention it. So this is called active mass or molar concentration. Active mass is nothing but molar concentration. Okay. So rate of forward reaction is directly proportional to what? What is the concentration of the reactants? Right. So law of mass action says at any instant, rate of a reaction is directly proportional to the product of active masses of the reactants or product of molar concentration of the reactants, and the reactants will be raised to certain exponential powers. For example, x means here 1. Number of moles only 1. Okay. So this is called a law of mass action. Next, public 3 mark. What is equilibrium constant? Okay. Consider the general reaction. So this is a general reaction. We take the reactants A and B, it provides product C and D. And number of moles, we take X mole of reactant A, Y mole of reactant B, L mole of product, we get L mole of product C and M mole of product D. So this is called a general reaction. X mole of reactant A, Y mole of reactant B are combining together to produce the products L mole of C and M mole of D. This is forward reaction. The reverse reaction totally changed. These two will act as reactants, these two will be acting as products. So according to the law of mass action, rate of forward reaction will be denoted as RF, is directly proportional to the product of active masses of the reactants. Active mass means concentration of reactant. So what are the reactants? A and B. According to law of mass action, rate of forward reaction is directly proportional to the product of active masses or molar concentration of the reactants, and each term is raised to certain exponential power x and y. Because we have taken x mole of reactant here, y mole of reactant b. This is a theoretical equation. Okay. Then to remove the proportionality, we introduce a constant called Kf. So this is rate constant for the forward reaction. Okay. So according to law of mass action, rate constant, so rate of the forward reaction is directly proportional to the product of active masses of the reactants, each raised to certain exponential power. To remove the proportionality, we introduce a constant called forward rate constant or rate constant for the forward reaction. Next, consider the reverse reaction. The rate of backward or reverse reaction denoted as RB. According to law of mass action, rate of backward reaction is directly proportional to the product of active masses of the reactants. So in the backward reaction, these two are the reactants, concentration of C and concentration of D, or active masses of C and D, which are raised to certain exponential powers. To remove the proportionality, we introduce a constant called Kb. So this is rate constant for the backward reaction. Okay. So take this as equation 1, equation 2. This is a reversible process. A and B are combining to produce C and D. Then in the backward side, C and D are acting as reactants to produce A and B are the products. We have a forward reaction as well as backward reaction. According to law of mass action, we have written this one. Then at equilibrium, during the reversible process, it will reach equilibrium. So what is the condition for equilibrium? What is the condition for equilibrium? A rate of forward reaction will be equal to rate of backward reaction. Then only equilibrium will be reached. Right? So in a reversible process, if rate of forward and backward reactions are equal, we call the condition as equilibrium. So equations 1 and 2 are equal. Equations 1 and 2 are equal. So rate constant for the forward reaction, concentration of reactant A power x, B power y is equal to rate constant for the backward reaction and the concentration of C power L and D power m. So according to equilibrium condition, rate of forward reaction will be equal to the rate of backward reaction. You just move this rate constant into left hand side. So rate constant can be moved into the left hand side and the concentration term can be moved into the right hand side. So we will have similar quantities. Rate constant for the forward reaction divided by rate constant for the backward reaction is equal to concentration of C power L, D power m divided by concentration of A power x, B power y. So this is called the equilibrium constant Kc. The ratio of this one or this can be simply denoted as Kc. So equilibrium constant is denoted as Kc, in which when we consider a reversible reaction, if equilibrium is reached, we may write equilibrium constant as the ratio of product of molar concentration of the products to the product of molar concentration of the reactants. So for this definition, a 3 marker. Okay. So what is equilibrium constant? Equilibrium constant is defined as the ratio of So this is a ratio of product of these two are in multiplication. So product of concentration of products. So in this side, these two are the products. Product of concentration of the products to the product of concentration of reactants. These two are in the multiplication. So this is the product of concentration of reactants called the equilibrium constant Kc, which is defined as the ratio of product of concentration of the products to the product of concentration of reactants, and each term is raised to certain exponential power based on the stoichiometric equation. So this is called a equilibrium constant Kc. Now consider A, B, C, D. All the substances are in gaseous phase. Now this is a homogeneous gaseous phase reaction. So for gaseous phase reaction, equilibrium constant will be expressed in terms of pressure. So this is rearranged as Kp. Equilibrium constant in terms of pressure. So gaseous reaction means usually we will do within a container, isn't it? So in a container, first we will take reactant A and B. These two are gaseous molecules. These two gaseous molecules will be taken in a container. By combining these two, they will produce the products C and D. They are also gaseous molecules. So the reaction will be done within a container. So for the whole container, there is a total pressure, which is called a capital P. So the reaction is done in a container. The total volume is capital V and the total pressure is called capital P. Okay. Total pressure means how much pressure created by having all the four gaseous molecules. It's called a total pressure. Next, partial pressure. There is a word, partial pressure. Partial pressure means pressure exerted by individual molecules. For gaseous molecule A, there is a particular pressure, and gaseous molecule B will have a particular pressure. The same way C and D. So pressure exerted by the individual molecules are called partial pressure. So when we add all the partial pressures, you will get total pressure. Partial pressure of A plus B plus C plus D, you will get a total pressure. Okay. So when the equilibrium reaction is in the gaseous phase, we have to express equilibrium constant in terms of partial pressure. So these are all concentration terms. We have to omit it. Concentration terms means this will be Kc. Why equilibrium constant is denoted as Kc? Equilibrium constant is represented in terms of concentration, so that Kc. So now gaseous phase reaction. So this is expressed in terms of partial pressure. So we rearrange equilibrium constant formula as partial pressure of product C power L, partial pressure of product D power M, partial pressure of reactant A power X, partial pressure of reactant B power Y. So this is equilibrium constant in terms of partial pressure. Okay. So what are the concepts we have completed today? First, in a reversible process, concentration of reactant decreases, at the same time concentration of product increases. Then, if a reversible process reaches equilibrium, rate of forward and reverse reactions will be equal. So always equilibrium is dynamic in nature. Then, like physical and chemical equilibrium, we have one more classification, homogeneous and heterogeneous equilibrium. This is based on the physical state of reactants and the products. If all the reactants and products are in the same phase, equilibrium exists, homogeneous equilibrium. If the physical states are different, if equilibrium exists, we call it as heterogeneous equilibrium. Next, law of mass action, it says rate of a reaction is directly proportional to the product of active masses of the reactants at a particular instant. Then equilibrium constant means, using the law of mass action, we write equilibrium constant in terms of concentration, in terms of partial pressure. So usually in terms of concentration means it is defined as a ratio of product of concentration of the products to the product of concentration of the reactants, in which each term is raised to an exponential power stoichiometrically. So with this, today's class over. Tomorrow we will derive the relationship between Kp and Kc. Thank you.